That whole thing was just like
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
My dumb ass was like, "You're a
I was
bird. I'm a hunter on a horse again."
Eric. I was watching it with Eric, and Eric was like, "I'm a cheeseburger," and I was like, "I'm a fat man."
Then he goes back, "I'm diabetes." Like,
I'm insulin.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Los Wise Guys podcast. I am one of your hosts, Eslam, aka Ra, God of the Sun, accompanied by Dan, Papa Sunkiller, and Dan, Emperor Lord Disco. Yep, I added the Lord in there. Why not?
Hey, it's fine. Remix.
That's right. Go check out our social medias, links below. While you're at it, like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. Go check out all our awesome contents while you're on our YouTube channel. And for today, the main topic is the review of the Sandman. For those of you who don't know, Sandman was a comic book written by the great Neil Gaiman that was adapted into a series by Netflix with the oversight of Neil Gaiman. I think he had a lot to do with the
oh
with the
yes, he
show.
did. It reflects.
Oh, honestly, I did not know how Dan was gonna come into this with the show because first
I
of all, Dan
purposely don't
hates
talk to you
shows.
guys. Yeah,
I
I don't
know.
talk to you guys about anything.
No, but I'm like I've been trying to like watching it
Mhm,
after while I was watching I was like I wonder if like Dan is like liking this right now and I'm just
mhm.
like I know he read the comic book and he hates shows. He
It's true.
hates
It's true.
shows about comic books
Yep.
even more. So I was
Yep.
just like I wonder how he's going to react to this and I remember we had like a little bit of a conversation of Neil Gaiman is going to be really involved in this and hopefully that makes it even like better and then you had countered with the creator of The Walking Dead was part of it, and it did not make it better.
He ruined
So,
it, and
yeah,
and then went on to say, "This is how I really wanted to write it." I was like, "Well, thank God someone stopped you,
yeah.
because
So,
that show was trash."
thank God for the editors, you know. So, let's start off with you, Dan. Initial thoughts about the show, because I'm excited to hear this.
Me?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Overall, I mean, I've seen things like adapted from comic books or
Hmm.
adapted from books or whatever, and we talk about how things are accurate, how things change. Now, you mentioned Eslam that I did read Sandman, which is true.
Hmm.
I read the Preludes and Nocturnes more
Yep.
recently, which is like the first half of this season.
Yeah, that's
So
what it
the
was based on. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. The second half of the season, I remember reading that, but it was a while back. So it's like
yeah.
as I was watching it, I was remembering things because I couldn't remember it completely.
Okay.
But from what I do remember, this is one of the most accurately portrayed shows or adaptations I have ever seen, and this
Yeah.
includes
So
like everything.
yeah, that's what I've. After I watched episode 10, I kind of just went online, perused through some articles, just seeing how people are reacting to it,
Yeah,
and that's
dude, I
what
think they ripped
everybody was
dialogue
saying.
like literally from the comic and put it in the show.
A lot of people were saying like this is one of the most accurate and best like comic book adaptation to ever be made,
Yeah.
which is saying a lot. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's great to hear. Disco, what did you think about this?
I uh, I enjoyed it. It was a very entertaining show through and through. I I think they took like the archetype of the chosen one and kind of like made it really fun with all the in-depth writing and scenes and concepts they had without spoiling. Like I really love the concepts that they deliver in this show, and they kind of revolutionize some things too. And I through and through, there's just a lot that I would like to tell you guys without spoiling. But overall, very
Yeah.
entertaining. And I don't really know the background stuff. I'm just a show watcher, so without knowing any comic background stuff and just watching it for a show, it's very entertaining. And I only think it's gonna get better. The way they ended it, it just feels like it's gonna gained so much more momentum. And props to Neil Gaiman and everyone else involved. It was a pretty good show.
For me, I really enjoyed the first half of the season. Yeah, where it was mostly concentrated on him and the endless and like that realm. once it got more into the human realm, it got a little slow for me, and I don't know. I didn't enjoy the performance of the actress, the
Rose.
antac. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy her performance, and some of the dialogue got really cheesy towards the end. But like one of my favorite episodes, and we'll get into that later, was like the episode in between like the two storylines, where it gives you kind of like a break. So you had the storyline of him getting his stuff back. There was like this like intermediate episode where he's just like he's finding out more about himself, and he's talking to one of his siblings, and then it goes into the next storyline, and that was, I really enjoyed that episode very much.
Well, there was like
Um,
two. There was that, and then there's the one where he keeps going back to the same bar to meet with the guy every
yes,
100
yes.
years.
Yeah, that was in the same episode. No, that
No,
was back
Yeah.
and
those are
forth.
two different episodes. Or were they the same episode?
Yeah, because I think
I
she was
don't think
talking.
so.
I'm pretty
No,
sure they were
it
two
was.
different
I
ones.
don't,
Okay, maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah,
I could
might
be
be wrong.
completely wrong about that.
I could be
but-
wrong too, but whatever. Yes, and yes, I agree that one as well. But yeah, overall, I give it a 4 out of 5. It was like it was a really fun watch. The graphics were phenomenal. They did a really great job at world building, building the dreaming, building like Desire's realm is really funny. It's just him,
Yeah.
which is like hilarious.
And
Um,
despair there, just
yeah.
like, ooh.
Despair. Love
I
that
was
they're
like-
twins.
Yeah, it's really funny. And then we got to see 4 of the endless.
Of the siblings, yeah.
Yeah, and then we
Are
still
we
have
ready
two.
to jump in spoilers or?
Yeah, let's jump in. Let me share my.
Well, hang on, Eslam. You said 4 out of 5. Disco, what would you give it?
I would give it a 4 out of 5 too. It was pretty good, or maybe, no, yeah, 4 out of 5 is good.
I'm right there with you guys. 4 out of 5.
Awesome. But yeah, let me share my screen. I think also casting wise, they did really great.
Oh my god! Did you see
Job?
the comparisons? Like we did it.
Yeah.
We did it last time with Paper Girls, where you compared them. This
Yeah.
was like
This was
on
on point too.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, we have 3 of the main endless that we get to see, and like they're the ones who are really moving the story along. We have Dream, which is AKA Morpheus.
The one true Morpheus from the only Morpheus that's ever existed.
Yeah. Then you have his older sister, Death. And then you have the younger of the siblings, which is Desire. One of my favorite episodes, like I was mentioning before, was that intermediate episode where Death and Dream were just like walking about. He was watching her work. They were just talking about humanity and like their interactions with them. And it was just like a very beautiful dialogue because like
Mhm.
Death is talking. He's like, how can you do your job where you're taking like their life, and like how do you like
And it's
deal
something
with
that they're completely afraid of. Like it's something
Yeah.
that none of them wants. Like how are you at peace doing this all
Exactly, and then they like explain it in like a very beautiful way. It was really great, and then like it was just like very interesting to me that out of all the like characters to pick to make like the main character like Dreams, and like Neil Gaiman did a fantastic job about like creating his power and his realm and just like all the power that Dream has. And I'm just like, it's crazy that like you can have this much power just by controlling dreams, which was very interesting to me. Things like that, like the only time, not the only time, but like a lot of the times I see this happening is in like anime, where you get like these like random like powers that don't seem like they can do much, and like these authors like create like this whole new aspect of these powers, and it just becomes amazing. I really like these posters because you see like Dream, he has the shadow of the crow. Death
The
has
Raven.
the
Raven. They're
oh
different.
sorry,
They're different.
the Raven. Yes, my bad. He did say that in the show. Death has her wings that we did not get to see. We only saw the shadows of in the episodes.
I like the way
And
they did that too.
that was amazing. And then you have Desire with his hands, because he's very self-absorbed, I guess. This is another one. I just want to show that I thought it was cool that Death's like
Ankh.
yeah, her like stone, instead of a stone or whatever, her thing was the Ankh.
Well,
While
they all
Dream
had like weird symbols. That was
yeah.
hers,
So like Dream had this like ruby. As you see here, Desire has this heart, which makes sense. You know, the heart's desire and stuff like that. And Death had the Ankh, which is the the Egyptian symbol for the key of life, which I thought the ancient Egyptian symbol for key of life. So this is what Dream looked like from the comic books.
Yep.
Like Dan was saying, they had very accurate casting, and yes, it was phenomenal.
That's
And if you're wondering, yes, this, unless I'm mistaken, this was out there around the same time as The Crow.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
I really enjoyed the beginning of the show where Dream was captured. He barely spoke. You had like
He didn't speak at all.
yeah. You heard his monologue, his internal monologue. He was kind of pitying the people around him because he's just like, I'm endless, you know. You guys are all gonna die. I'm eventually gonna fucking leave this thing.
I'm gonna
and,
get out of here.
yeah, I'm gonna take my revenge. Like I don't, you know, I don't need to beg, plead, or you can do whatever the fuck you want.
At the end of the day, they were doing more damage to themselves as a humanity than they were doing anything to him. They destroyed his kind of his realm too, but nothing physical to him.
One thing that they didn't 100% like show in the show that they did in the book was like, you saw how they like touched on what's happening to the world, right?
Yeah.
So, and you know how they focused on Unity Kincaid. That was her last name, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So they focused on Unity. There was more than just Unity. There was like there was quite a few people that they would focus on, and every time they went like another decade or every couple, I don't know, 25 years or whatever, they would jump back in and you would see where these people are at in their lives now. And it's like for every time they went back to Unity, it's like she's asleep and now she's pregnant. How is she pregnant? We don't know. And then it's like they would show one guy who's been trying to sleep like for how many years and he's been awake all this time. And it's like they focus on like 3 or 4 different people, but for the show they really just drove it home with Unity.
Well, they did Unity because later on we find out, the Vortex is her great-granddaughter, and she was supposed to be the Vortex, and we'll get into the Vortex later. But yeah, no, that's called rape, you know, because she couldn't consent to.
She was sleeping. Like,
was it? Because she remembered the golden-eyed man and everything. Was it? Or did she not want it? I mean, she was probably okay with it.
She because it happened in her dream, I guess. So the golden-eyed man was Desire, and he fathered the child. And I guess because we find out later at the end of this season that was the case, because they revealed that she was her great-granddaughter. She got pregnant while she's sleeping, but then they revealed kind of like how when like Dream put 2 and 2 together later when she told him, and he was like, okay, so. They made it seem when he went to speak to Desire and he made him look like a bitch, which was fantastic. He was like, do you really think you guys are strong like myself, Death, or Destiny?
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's like, so now we have a power hierarchy, right? So you got Dream, Death, and Destiny are like the stronger of the 3. And then you have Desire, Despair, and Delirium, the weaker of the 3 siblings. And then you have like the Prodigal, which we don't know what or who that is.
It could be either Delirious or Delirium. I mean, Delirium or Destiny.
Oh, interesting.
Because remember, they didn't specify. They just said that they named 2 other ones, and it could be one of them, or it could be another.
True. I figured it was because why would they say? Why wouldn't they just say like, oh, Destiny or Delirium?
Well, they kept on calling them that, but remember, they did not say the names Destiny or Delirium until the very end of the final episode. So maybe that's a hint there too.
Maybe. I always thought it was like one more of the sibling. Either
it's Disco. This whole time.
I'm the
last. What's up, guys? I'm back. I was delivering some Uber Eats.
Where does Lucifer fit in this? Like these D gods.
Lucifer is not part of the.
He's not even.
No, Lucifer is the angel. Is an angel that fell into hell, and you know. So
he's not an endless.
Not at all.
No, he's not an endless.
Okay, he's just a strong being from that time. Okay.
Yeah. So he is like, because at the end, Lucifer also says he's like, I'm gonna do something that will make even God like livid. So God exists.
Well, they even stated that Lucifer is the second most powerful being in the world.
Yeah.
Or in their existence.
after God, I guess. So
Yeah.
True.
yeah, so
I
God
did say that.
exists, Lucifer, like angels exist. So we know in this realm, this world, these other, like, you have God, these other beings. Also, uh, when Neil Gaiman created this comic book, they did a spin-off of Lucifer comic book, which is what the show that went out,
Lucifer.
yeah, was based on.
They came out
And
of Sandman. Yeah.
yep. So
That was pretty cool because I've actually seen the other Lucifer, and it was pretty cool to see the comparison. And honestly, I think this one's a lot more creepier. That actress that played Lucifer is just
yeah,
Yeah.
something
she's
about her.
phenomenal. Isn't she
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Game of Thrones? Isn't she?
Oh, is that her? The
Yeah, I
knight,
think. Yeah.
the one that was traveling with Arya or whatever her name is.
Yep. I think that was her.
I
Pretty
think I
sure.
think you're right. Now that you mention it, that's well,
One thing.
she totally killed it because I was
Yeah.
just like,
One
like
more thing that they. Go ahead.
The other Lucifer with the devil face, like I just doesn't even compare how
So,
creepy she is with her
well,
wings and just how
when
she
I saw
portrayed herself.
a picture of Lucifer when I was looking up like comic book stuff, the way he was drawn was the way he was portrayed in the show. So he's drawn as this like handsome man and like
Mhm.
with like a glass of like alcohol, and like he looks dapper. He has the
Yep.
beautiful angel wings. Where here Lucifer's in hell. She has the black angel
That's a
wings.
he.
Oh, it's still a he. Okay.
Yeah.
He has the black angel wings. I don't
Fool
fucking know,
me.
man. Yeah.
They said he in the show,
Okay. So, but they chose a female actress. Whatever.
so
Um,
it's the he character.
it, dude, I don't know anymore. So, it has the black wings. So, I read what happens and what Lucifer does later to Dream, and like by accident when I was reading up on the thing.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to see what they'll do in season 2. I think with the success of this and like the critic acclaim that's come from this, I think Netflix will move forward with a second
Second season.
season.
One thing I wanted to mention was that they
yeah.
changed. I saw was in the comic. So you see in here, Dream or Morpheus, he gets to hell, and then he's speaking. Oh, Lucifer, you're the one running hell. That's not the
Mhm.
case in the comic. When
Mhm.
in the comic, when he gets to hell, he's just like, all right, I need to have an audience with Lucifer. No, he's like, I need to have an audience with the ruler of hell. And the demon's like, which one? And I'm like, what do you mean? This is Lucifer's realm. He's like, well, not so much anymore. And you find out that Lucifer split hell. I forgot how. Part of it belongs to Beelzebub, another
Okay.
part belongs to Lucifer, and another one belongs to another demon that I forgot who it was. And the three of them ruled hell, but like sort of together, but also in competition.
Yeah.
So then, Dream is just like, how the fuck did this happen? And then they're like, well, who are you to talk? Look at your realm. So it's like it's kind of like it was this thing, and I could be wrong about this, but the game that they played, the oldest game,
Mhm.
unless I'm mistaken, he played against either one of those two other demons or another demon. I do not remember him going up against Lucifer at all.
Is that
That-
like metaphor battle that they
Yeah.
had?
Yeah,
I wanted
That
to
they call it the
mention
oldest
that.
game.
That,
Yeah.
that
Dude,
thing-
that was
crazy.
phenomenal.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
I
it's
loved
so
it in the
good.
book. When I saw that they were going to do it in the show, I was like, let's go. I was so excited.
They did it so well too. It was amazing.
I
Amazing.
thought that was.
Dude, I was
so
shouting
clever,
what he was going to say.
too.
I was just like, hope! Say hope!
I thought it was so clever because like you expect them to battle, you expect them to actually like battle, but
Yeah.
they did it in a clever way where it's like a mental battle and
Yeah.
Yeah. I was afraid they were going to do a regular battle, and I was going to come on this podcast. I was going to shit on all over it.
It was
I'm
really
glad they
cool
didn't.
how like they changed costumes like right before battle. Like Dream had like his like armor on. I was like, oh shit, this is getting real. The Endless from the comic books, right? Dream's in the middle with the funky hair. Death has the Ankh. The fat one on the bottom is Despair. And I'm guessing the one in the red is Desire. So I'm gonna say the one in the gold is Destiny. And then there's Delirium. So there's Dream, Death, Despair, Desire, Destiny. I'm gonna say Delirium is the girl. Maybe the guy. That
The
guy
prodigal?
is. Yeah, maybe.
Hmm.
That's my guess, right?
Maybe.
I'm guessing the red jacket is Desire. I'm
because
gonna say
her eyes are like wide open like delirium. So
yeah.
I'm gonna
So I'm
say
gonna say the young girl is Delirium. The golden robe is Destiny. Death has the Ankh, and the fat one is Despair. Dreams in the middle, and maybe Prodigal is the husky man, not husky, hunky man. Yeah, I don't know, but is an image I found online.
Mhm.
But yeah, so let's talk about the dreams, nightmares, and Constantine that was there for like a hot second, and then
Constantine.
oh, Constantine. Okay,
Because remember, this isn't. Well, I don't know if you guys are aware.
Joanna.
In the book, it's John Constantine that he speaks to. They changed it for the show and created Johanna Constantine
okay.
to replace it.
Why? Because they couldn't say Constantine.
Why couldn't they? This is a DC property.
I know. Yeah. So
I'm sure they could have. I just figured.
I feel like
for some
they're
reason they
just
wanted to
being-
switch it.
I feel like they're just trying to be fancy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like because
Or
John
maybe
Constantine.
that's
is definitely
how they say it in
Also-
the UK.
No,
Like,
also-
with a British accent.
Well, no, it's Constantine.
it really annoyed me when Lucifer was saying Azazel wrong.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, that annoyed the shit out of me.
maybe that was the other demon. I don't know.
It would make sense because Azazel was one of the. She was talking. He was a general. At least
Yeah.
that's what they said. So it
In the
makes
show,
sense
yeah.
if it was Beelzebub, Azazel, and Lucifer, the ones
Could've been.
ruling. Also, Azazel looked really cool. It was like a fucking like a rip in time and space with a bunch of
I
faces.
didn't like it, to be honest. I don't know. It was weird to me.
What else is he gonna look like? Right? Is he gonna look like Azazel from the X-Men? You know, with
could be-
the red tail.
It could have been anything. You know?
I don't know. It looked pretty cool to me.
It was pretty interesting.
It was
It's a
yeah,
cool concept. I just feel
yeah.
like it could have been.
I don't
better.
know if it like yeah exactly. I don't
I
know
feel
if it
like-
embodied Zazel though, but it was cool. Like,
But
Yeah.
it could change. Like he could be like, no, this is my real form, and like come out with like looking like something else. But yeah, so our main man on the left here or the right is
The
the Corinthian, which I love the name by the way.
Mhm.
He's one of the nightmares that Dream created, and then you have Joanna Constantine, which she had gone to help him find his items, which is the pouch
ruby-
of
the
sand,
Yeah.
the pouch of sand. Then he wanted to get his helm, and then he needed to get his ruby.
When you get a chance, I want to share an image as well. But
Yeah,
I
go
guess
for it.
after this. All right. So I just want to point this out. Are you guys aware of the Sandman, like the DC Comics Sandman before this Sandman?
No.
nah.
Okay, so the way it works is Sandman was a character from way back in the day,
Mhm.
who was a DC Comics property that just never sold any books, and they kind of just said, "All right, we're done with this. We're not gonna do it." And then they were just like, "Hey, we're bringing back older characters. We have this new young writer called Neil Gaiman. Let's give him the Sandman character and see what he comes up with." And he came up with the Sandman that we know.
God damn.
The original
Okay.
Sandman was just a superhero detective guy. But one thing that Neil Gaiman did not change was the helm, the mask. As you could see, he
Oh.
kept it sort of like this. And then in the comic book, he even makes note of it, where when Dream was captured for all those years,
Mhm.
this guy showed up and he had the helm. He had Dream's helm at one point, and that's why he was the Sandman of the DC Comics superheroes. And he had some of the abilities of Sandman. I don't remember what it was. He grew old, he died, and his mask went missing, and eventually found its way into hell. That was one of the things that happened in comics. But I always thought
Oh,
it was cool that
interesting.
Neil Gaiman like paid respects to the previous Sandman that was written before him, and then he adapted it into his own story, which I always thought was really cool.
Oh, that's
But,
amazing. Huh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Neil Gaiman, he's one hell of a writer.
Hell yeah, man. I mean,
He made something like so simple as regaining his tools and his armor. Like he made something so simple, so cool with like his amazing storytelling. Like every little piece just became something worthwhile and just like captivating. Like Lucifer, and then John with the ruby and the sand. With
That was
John,
another thing that
Joanna.
changed with John D, but I'll get into that when we get into it. But yeah, anyway, that's just one thing I wanted to show. I'll stop sharing.
yeah, let's get into it. Go into John D. Yeah.
So John D is a DC Comics supervillain.
Nice.
I forgot what his name was in DC Comics. But that was another thing where he had gotten hold of the ruby, and he gets out of an insane asylum. He makes it to this diner, and while this is going on, like I think he was put into, it might have even been Arkham, unless I'm mistaken. I think he got into it with either the Batman or Justice League or someone. They put him into some type of insane asylum. He gets out, and he's like older now. He's like, but I still got my ruby, and then he wreaks havoc on the diner and stuff, and that's where Sandman, Morpheus, shows up and stops him. But that's another thing. I think he's like Dr. I want to say Doctor Destiny. It was his
Interesting.
DC Comics villain name.
Can you guys see the arrow on the screen pointing
Yeah.
to the actor?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So this is the actor that played John Dee
Yep.
in the show. I think he was also in Harry Potter. He's like a very famous British actor.
Eslam, do you want to just zoom in if possible, just so the people at home can see a little bit better?
I cannot zoom in. Sorry.
Okay, that's all good.
All right, my bad.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I can't zoom in
That's all
because
good.
it's a presentation that I made in Canva and I'm sharing the
Okay. I got
so
you.
that's why I can't zoom in.
I got you.
But yeah, so this is John Dee, and also this is the actress who plays Rose Walker.
Rose Walker. Yep.
And her last name is Ra, which is fucking amazing. I just so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I just saw that now. But yeah, that's pretty cool with John Dee because that scene, that whole
that whole episode.
with him in the diner was just fucking crazy.
I mean, it was good, but it's a
dude,
lot
I
better
know.
in the comic book.
Of course. I mean,
like
course it's a
I
lot
mean, it
better
was
in the
really
comic.
great in the show, but
yeah,
I highly recommend if anybody's interested, check out the comic book, Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes. It is good. It's like I think the last chapter in the volume is when he's speaking to Death in the park and they're walking around. The chapter right before that is the one with John Dee in the diner.
Nice.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
very
I love
cool.
how at the beginning he was just like, I'm gonna, save the world, change the world, make it better.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he just wrecks havoc on those poor souls in that restaurant.
Yeah.
Like they all try to leave and like
Well,
they
he did
can't.
the world. If you were watching the
Yeah,
news, like
yeah,
he was
the
affecting the
news.
entire world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to see how them telling their truths or whatever just became everyone dying pretty much.
Yeah,
Well, that's because he manipulated them a couple ways. Like he made them tell the truths. He basically made everyone want to bang each other. At one point in the book, I think he makes it so they're all like just trying to get with him. He does that. They become best friends. They all like fall asleep. It's like I forget. He does a lot more in the comic than he did in the show. In the show, he did like 2 or 3 things to them. In the comic, I remember him doing quite a bit. But and then in the end, he's just like I think they don't even show him like killing them. I just think he just walks out. And then it's like you see like the door behind him. You just see just nothing but like blood and body parts and stuff just behind him. It's like, oh god damn.
It just kept getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
Like that one business couple and the intern, and then like the black dude, he went to the back and he was like talking to the waitress went to the back and was talking to the chef, and he was just like, I'm banging your son. And I was just like, what? It's getting like, what is happening? And it was just, that was like one of the concepts I was mentioning earlier, but I couldn't spoil. But it just like blew my mind. It's just so much happening in that scene, and even the waitress, how she was just like kind of people please, and then the Asian lady and the business couple was like just controlling, and then the other dude that her partner is like just trying to get a burger, and she's like, nope, spinach salad. And when I was watching that, I was just like, I could never do that. I can never.
Yeah.
Like, man. But
yeah, that was another, like, there was a lot of freaking great moments in the show, man. It was like I feel like the ending, the stuff with Rose could have been like maybe 1 or 2 episodes instead of like 4. But I don't know, that's just me.
I feel like, honestly, that was the worst part of the show. Her being the vortex and kind of like, I felt like that was like a cliche archetype. I was like, oh, she's the chosen one. She's going to destroy things. So she's like innocent. She doesn't want to. And then at the end, they just like, Unity Kincaid just like copped out. It was just like, I'll die for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just felt like it was so cheesy. And with all the cool things they did, I feel like that was the worst. Like, I like the 100-year guy. I thought that was the crazy, like, wild concept. The way he's just like invincible, never dies, and then you really get to see the ups and downs of his life and how he kind of keeps Dream like in touch with humanity.
Oh,
and
was his name like Gad or something? Or
it changed?
Or it was
I
like
don't remember.
Gadling.
He changed a couple times. It was like
Yeah.
God or something like
Yeah.
that, like GAUD or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
first of all, since you brought him up, sorry to cut you off, dude. When they did that flashback and Dream went full My Chemical Romance, I was just like, this is hilarious.
He what?
Uh, when
His hair got longer.
yeah,
Oh,
he was
okay,
like
okay.
full emo. He looked like he was like the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
I
He's
didn't.
just
Okay.
like I was
I
just
feel like he was
this-
emo the entire show. Like
he
there, he just
was,
had
but
long hair.
yeah, he had like but it was styled just like I don't know. It gave
Dude, he
me My
looked like he was
Chemical
from that
Romance.
time. I don't know.
Yeah, he was. I was like, yo, they're about to drop a new single. Like, oh shit. Um, but yeah, no, that was their conversations over the years was pretty funny. Like then Disco was saying, like thinking about how a human would uh, react to like a very long like endless life, where Dream was like he's gonna wish for death, and then like this guy was like super optimistic all the time. He was just like, "Oh, I'm learning new shit. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." Then he lost it all, and then he like had got it again, and it's very interesting because we got to see that also with DC, with what's his name, um, Vandal Savage, with the Young Justice, which they did a phenomenal job with, and you see how Vandal Savage kind of just he was how he controlled the entire history of Earth because he was immortal, and so like every great general that ever existed was Vandal Savage because he just took on that moniker and like did new things. It was just like amazing, but
This was more of a realistic take on it, I'd say.
oh, of course, yeah, no, of
Yeah.
course. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's just like
Vandal Savage has always been a great character. I mean, I never saw the Teen Titans version of him.
Yeah.
But he's a great.
no
character
Young
in
Justice.
general. It's the same shit.
But please don't disrespect.
Oh, you know
Young
I'm gonna
Justice like
disrespect that easily.
but you know,
It was crazy how even when his family died, he was just like still wanted to live. He's just like, fuck it, I still have so much more to live for. It's like I feel like that's the moment where a lot of people would be like, oh man, I'm done with this loneliness and heartache. But he was just like, nah, I'm good. Like,
yeah.
I mean, not that he was good, but like he still wanted to keep going. You know?
Yeah.
Again, like I wouldn't even like getting into writing a character like that. Just getting in the mindset of what would a human go through after 100 years of living, after 200 years of living, after three, four, five, and it was really interesting. The just seeing what the different times, how much like they jumped in technology. Where one of them was just like, oh, we have like paper now and whatever, and like better food, better this, and like it just like between like 1889 and like 1989, like the drastic difference was just like crazy. I was just like, holy shit, that all that advancement was just like 100 years.
Industrial age.
Yeah, I was just like, this is wild to see that, but it was pretty cool.
I can't say it enough, man. Shout out to Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, no, phenomenal.
No,
Uh,
yeah.
so-
I was.
So
No,
go
you
ahead,
go.
go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
I also like how he threw in Mozart. I think it was Mozart.
We had Shakespeare. I know that.
Oh no, Shakespeare.
Yeah.
That's where he was just like, who is that? And then like he made a deal with him too, and they kind of like threw in. It's like, oh, that's Will Shakespeare.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty fun too, in that little like story arc. But overall, at the end, I liked how he happened to coincidentally get taken right when he was just like, okay, if I see you in the next 100 years, then it's because we're friends. And then he doesn't
Yeah.
show up, and it's like it's not because they're not friends. It's because
yeah,
he was
Yeah.
he was stolen by Gideon or whatever that dude's name is.
kidnapped.
Burgess.
Yeah, Roger
Burgess.
Yeah.
Burgess. One of the things I just want to point out, and I feel like I already know your thing, Eslam, because anytime it has something to do with emotional or people growing, you're like, oh, it was dumb. But I feel like the
Really?
whole yes. Anytime
when have I?
Paper Girls. I don't know. That was the first thing that came to mind, but I don't think you did it in Paper
all
Girls.
I
No,
talked
you didn't
about-
do it in Paper Girls. I know you did. That was. The
I
first
was
thing that
like,
came to
all I
mind.
talked about was their growth, and I was like,
Stranger
this is like
Things.
really amazing.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, but
Where I
no,
was
no,
just
no. I'm
like,
sorry.
oh,
The
11 with the whole like, oh, she has to
Oh.
deal with the knowing that her friend could possibly be dead and she's a vegetable. Like, I don't give a fuck. They shouldn't have
Oh.
done another 45 minutes.
All the
Like-
romances you just took a giant
Yeah, I was
steamy
just like,
shit on.
What, who is it going to be?
Paper
Steve, or is it
Girls
gonna be what's
did
it called?
all
I don't
of
care.
that 100 times better.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general. That's the only example I can think of at the moment. You tend to hate anything that has to do with like emotional things. So what I'm gonna say,
if it's done badly, yes.
so I'm gonna say is like you preferred like the first half over the second half and this, that, and the other. The whole show was just for the very last episode to be like, oh, Morpheus / Dream is changing. Like that's literally
that
why
was great,
everything
'cause he
happened.
was a
Obviously,
dick in the beginning.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like he had to go through that. He had to go
He got
through
humbled.
his,
That's what happened.
yeah,
right?
he had to go through his sister, seeing his sister do her job, meeting the guy in the bar,
Mhm.
meeting Rose Walker, seeing how much people care about her, and then you have the Fiddler's Green telling him, "Oh, I just want to be a human, just see what it was like." Well, like he had to go through all that to then be like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm a dick." I get
And then
it.
he brought back.
He experienced humans on
Exactly.
our world, on our
Yeah.
plane, on our level, because he
Yep.
spent all of eternity just experiencing us through dreams, which isn't like an accurate depiction of us as a whole, because it's dreams.
Yeah.
But pretty much that's how I felt. Like he had to see us on our level and our plane and like on our
To
existence,
get it,
so
yeah.
that he can see who we are and so he can change and not be that.
No,
that
Dream's story arc was really good because even when he came back and he started, like, he was still fighting it, right? When he
Yeah.
got his realm back and he was just like, he yelled at Lucien. He's like, no, I'm the boss. Like, you know, he was still arrogant. He was still, and then he gets humbled.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Can you do this for me? Can you do that? And he brought back that nightmare as a dream.
Yeah.
And that's when you really see him change. No, that was done great. Why? Because it was done in a proper way, not like in Stranger Things.
That stuff in Stranger Things was done well. You just didn't like it.
No, it was
Most
not
people
done
in the
well, I'm
world,
sorry.
Disco, I thought it was good as well. Most people in the world thought it was
are
good.
wrong.
Hey, I'm
Um,
usually in your seat in this situation, all right? I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it. But I'm
Listen,
just saying,
Paper
it's just
Girls
like-
did it better. This one definitely did it better. Like, sorry, character growth in
I'll give you that. I feel like
Stranger
they
Things
did it better, but Stranger Things didn't do it bad at all. They did it very well.
It's definitely enjoyable. I mean,
Yeah. Um,
I
still have
were
this
we?
picture up because I just wanted to talk about the helm real quick.
Mhm.
So this is not the helm that is in the comic books. The bone thing that comes down is different. Like in the comic books, is not like that. And I just really like that small change. Like it looks way cooler here. And,
it looks it like has like a million times more mythical feel to it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that thing has a curse or some
If
sort
you
of
don't know
power.
what it is, you think it's someone's head and spine.
Yeah.
And if you just look at this image and you don't know what the show is or anything, and like it's
Yeah, and there's a
holding
demon
it.
holding it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Shove their spine up some dude's mouth. Ah,
That's a nice shot.
Yeah.
that one's pretty cool.
This was one of my favorite scenes, like them going back and forth and
Absolutely.
showing you, and like the horse. She's like, I'm a snake with poison. He's and it was just like an amazing. He's like, I'm a bird of prey. That whole thing was just like
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
My dumb ass was like, "You're a
I was-
bird. I'm a hunter on a horse again."
Eric, I was watching it with Eric, and Eric was like, "I'm a cheeseburger," and I was like, "I'm a fat man."
And he goes back, "I'm diabetes." Like,
I'm insulin.
Oh my god, that's funny.
we gotta
It's
start
such-
playing this game. We gotta start playing this game.
You should write
I'm
that
insulin.
down, like as a topic.
I'm
Right, just
insulin.
Play the oldest game. I think that's what they called it. Right?
I'm gout. You lose. Oh
Oh,
shit.
man. Your gout. I'm amputation.
Oh Lord. Can I? No, I have gout medicine. Like I still have my toe.
No,
guys.
no, dude. I said amputation.
Oh shit.
I'm red meat.
I'm a surgeon.
Oh man,
Oh,
I'm-
God.
I put the foot back.
I'm a medical school, Bill. Yeah, we're making this into a topic.
I'm the
No,
un-
let's stop. Let's save it. We gotta
I'm
make
sorry.
this into a topic.
I'm the United States healthcare system.
I'm Donald Trump.
You're dead. Oh shit.
Oh damn.
Oh man, yeah. Let's turn this into. a
I'm
game.
any other foreign country.
Whew.
Oh man, that's a good. That's a
That was
good
wild.
topic.
That was
That's a
only
good
like
topic.
20 seconds of the
I know we
oldest
hit
game.
so many things.
Oh Lord. Is there anything else you guys want to discuss about the episode?
Yeah,
This
The
episode,
episode. Sorry, about the
I wanted
show.
to discuss
the show,
the
yes,
Corinthians like cult he made. I thought it was
Yeah.
like pretty
exactly. I
cool.
want to talk about
The
the serial
serial
killer
killer
convention.
cult.
I'm sorry, the
Yeah.
serial convention, where there's no cereal.
Yeah. The
I,
collectors, which
Mhm.
I thought was pretty cool. Yeah.
I thought it was a cool concept. I don't know. I'm sure they've done it somewhere else, but like this is the first time I really seen it and like enjoyed it, and you
Mhm.
just see a bunch of serial killers there, and I think the Corinthian was a pretty cool leader of that cult, and I kind of enjoyed the way they made the Corinthian too with his like weird mouth eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Every time
He's
I
like that
saw
in the
him,
comic book too.
every
Yeah.
time I saw him, I couldn't just like look away from those things.
Yeah, it's
and
funny.
then when they first showed him, he had like the little blood out of his eye. And he's like
Mhm.
he eats with
He eats
his
the
little
eyes, yeah.
eyelids.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's so crazy.
He eats
Blew
the
my
eyes
mind
that he takes out of his victims.
with his
Mhm.
with his eye mouths.
Yeah.
I love this. I love Sandman. The fact he eats the eyes of his victims with his eye mouths.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So I love him as the character, and I love the cult that he brought together, and how there was that one imposter, and they're just like, let me show you how it's really done, and they just
Yeah.
killed his ass. And I thought it was a pretty cool concept, like having them stuck in a hotel full of serial killers. I feel like that's just a wild concept. Just I thought it was a really cool execution by them, and real cool concept there from again Neil Gaiman and whoever's involved on their writing team. It was that was kick ass. That was kick ass.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, Funland was way too damn creepy. Funland, the dude who was just like, oh yeah, let me tell you how it was. Like, how do you do your thing? He's like, oh, I go to the happiest place on earth where kids
Oh,
get
yeah.
separated from their parents. I was like, oh
Dude.
my god,
He was too good at being a pedo.
right?
Like I was
it was
just like,
it was insane.
shout
He
out
also-
to
he
the actor
also-
and
he also
everything.
looked-
but-
He also looked like Louis Anderson to me, like a young
He
Louis
really
Anderson.
did.
Young Louis Anderson pedophile. I was just like, oh my god, that's
He
so
even had like
crazy.
he almost had like the Disney ears on.
Yeah,
too, like,
exactly.
which was like I was like,
Man,
"God
this
damn."
man did look like Louis Anderson. That's a great call.
And then there's that one killer who like takes our skin and makes like hide. Like I've seen in
What's his name?
Alone.
Nimrod, I think.
I think so. I've
The
seen
old
that in
man, right?
Alone and
Yeah.
like on YouTube channels where they like make hide, and I've seen even people use like brain matter to like make hide, but I've never seen someone take humans and make
Yeah,
human hide.
didn't
That-
in
Buffalo
Silence
Bill.
of the Lambs. Yeah,
Buffalo
that's what he
Bill.
did. Yeah, he was making a
made hu-
dress out of women.
Yeah.
Skin.
oh man, that's crazy.
That's
I
why.
don't
That's
know.
why he would go
I
after
think-
overweight women, so he had like more
Oh,
skin to
I
work
see,
with.
I see.
Mhm.
But it was just cool
And he
the way
would
they
make him use
showed it. He
lotion.
had it. He had like everything set up, and he was actually just like it's pretty cool just to see that in general. And
Mhm.
I don't know. That's all,
No, dude,
that's
that-
all
I
I
was-
remember.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's a cool concept. Like I mean, not in real life, obviously, but like does Neil Gaiman's insane mind coming up with something like a serial killer convention, and of course that's gonna be involved. And it was started by the Corinthian. It was a creation of the dream where he has to get the vortex. It's like, how do you come up with this stuff, man? Like,
Oh, and
where-
also-
you know,
Also, when
But-
the vortex fell asleep in the hotel, and then like
Mhm.
the way the vortex absorbs all the dreams, it's like she's
They
absorbing all
she
the
combined
dreams
them
of
all. Yeah.
all those serial killers, and she's just looking around, and every corner is like a killer just doing their thing, and it's just like, oh shit. I thought that was a cool concept too on Neil Gaiman. Like it was just amazing execution, a lot of cool concepts that they put together, and I'm just blown away every time.
one thing I want to talk about before we move on is the house, like the people of the house, their dreams. Their
Yeah.
dreams were wild.
Yep.
Like, I mean, it's funny because it was like you have, I can't remember the guy's name, where he would like sing and like he would be in
Yeah.
drag and sing and put on performances. Then you had, what's it called? You had like Ken in the car. When they got to Barbie, I'm sorry, when they got to Barbie and she's talking, it's like this creature. It was just like, oh, let's go through the lens. I'm like, what are you treating me? Like, it was just this big hairy creature that just speaks in this weird accent. And I was just like, she's just rocking these like hardcore sunglasses and like a dress. And I was like, you know what? This is the most wild dream I've ever seen in my life. It was intense.
And that's what Dream sees from us. It's just
Exactly.
like-
And he's like, so this is humans.
One more thing is, since we're talking about the vortex, I thought it was another cool concept was how she made her friend get pregnant from her dead ex. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, like I was just
And there was
imagining like
there was
that
more that
if
went
I
into it
was
though,
that
because like he
person.
died, but he didn't move on. Like his
Yeah.
spirit just stayed. He's
He was
like
a ghost,
instead
yeah.
of doing whatever, my ghost is gonna stay in the dreaming world and just be like, hey, I'm already in the dreaming world. Come on over. Let's start a baby. You're gonna have a baby in the next like 3 days. Like
Yeah.
I built us a house. It was all by
Yeah.
itself too. It was
They
actually
were
pretty cool
both
looking house.
architects, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I mean, I just thought that was so crazy. Imagine I would be like traumatized if I had a baby with my dead ex. Like I don't know. That was just a cool thing he did there too. Man,
so let's talk about the
props.
ending of the last episode all the way at the end. Um, Dream finds out that Desire was the one that fathered the child. So Dream eludes that if he would have spilled blood of family, something crazy would have happened. What exactly that is, we don't know yet. We don't know if that would create a different power dynamic, if he would get punishment in a
would
certain
it blow
way.
up the world?
Yeah. So it's interesting that they bring that up. So we're probably going to get to see or hear more about that in the upcoming season. It hasn't been announced yet, obviously, but we're here's hoping. Um, we also get to see like Dream fixing up his realm. Lucienne is helping again, and then was there anything else important happened?
He when he went up
Lucifer
to
at the end. At the end, and Lucifer, they like have a cutscene that goes to
Yeah.
Lucifer and they allude to him doing something. I feel
Well,
like
yeah,
he's
that's
gonna.
when Azazel was like, "We need to attack. We need to," and Lucifer was like, "What do you want to do? Like attack the human world, the dreaming, and then eventually the Silver City, which I'm guessing is a reference to heaven, maybe."
They're
Uh,
climbing that
and
ladder up.
Yeah, and then he's just like, since we can't go from realm to realm, we'll just invade these realms and turn them into hell. That way, everybody's in hell. And then,
They're gonna expand their territory as opposed
yeah,
to.
pretty much, which was interesting. So, in saying that, like Dan mentioned before, this season was a combination of the preludes and nocturnes and the doll's house from the
that's what it's
comic
called.
book.
Thank you. I was trying to remember the name of the second volume.
Yeah, and then the not the rumor, but the speculation of what's coming next would be Dream Country, Season of Mists, and A Game of You, which would be the next volumes or storylines from the Sandman that would be adapted in season two, which would be interesting to see what they're gonna do with that. I really enjoyed this show. Definitely gave it 4 out of 5. Like we said before. So can't wait for like a season two.
Yeah.
Last
Right there
thing I
with you.
want to mention is Gregory. Did anybody else feel for Gregory, or is it
Oh
just
right, the gargoyle. That was
yeah?
funny.
I'm gonna be real
Cain
with
and
you, I didn't
Abel
care.
were funny.
I didn't give a damn about Gregory. So
I
he wasn't in
forgot.
there long enough for me to care.
Yeah, I forgot about Gregory. So
But it showed that it showed to me it displayed Dreams changing because he just come back from being captive and he was asking Gregory if like
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
can I take you as opposed to I don't know I feel like the older
instead of
one
just
would have
taking it.
just taken
Yeah.
him just like
And then
hey,
he went out of his way
you're
to give
mine.
Abel a new gargoyle baby,
yeah.
Yeah
Goldie. But I was just about to say something. Oh, Patton Oswalt
Yeah,
as the crow as the Raven.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I
funny.
thought that was fun.
All right. Final thoughts about the Sandman.
I enjoyed it. I would like to see if they do a season 2. Once again, as usual, if they stop right here, I'm cool with that. Go ahead and stop. I don't care. But I thought they did well. It was very much a pretty accurate adaptation. I told you guys some of the differences, but
Yeah,
they really didn't hinder the product at all in any way. Like it's cool, but just because they didn't go down that route doesn't mean it would have been better. So, hey, what they did was really good. I enjoyed it, and yeah, I would like to see if they do more.
nice.
I also thought it was amazing. It was pretty good. Definitely worth the watch. A lot of good things about it. think the worst thing was the vortex, but to have to each their own. But excellent show, and I'm looking forward to next season. I want to see more of the D's. I want to see more of the endlesses. Like if Lucifer makes his assault, I want to see like Death get involved, or like or one. So some of the other D's, the endless, just jump in, or I don't know. I'm just curious to see what they're gonna do. I'm looking forward to season 2. Hopefully Netflix doesn't bomb this one.
Yeah, bring them all in. Bring in Delirium.
Hopefully they don't
in,
cancel it early. Yeah.
Bring in Delirium. Bring in Delirious. Bring in DiGiorno. Bring them all. Let's go.
Bring in the disco.
Yeah, bring in the disco. 100%. Yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2. Hopefully they announce that soon, and hopefully with the success that this is having, Neil Gaiman comes back, does more of season 2 as well, and we get another great season of the Sandman. So definitely looking forward to that. Should we jump into some news, gentlemen?
Absolutely, we should.
But before we do that, please like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. Check out all our other amazing contents on YouTube. Go to our Los Wise Guys website. New content going up every day. The latest episode, YouTube episode is on there. The latest audio episode is on there. You can link to all your favorite podcasting platforms, and then we are going to be putting up other forms of content up there as well. So stay tuned for that. And then, go check us out on social media on those social tags below. Yeah. So, who wants to go first? Let's do this.
All right. Look, I got a little thing down there. So, for you put Bauer Bomb.
Oh shit!
You couldn't do it right. Couldn't even do that right.
Hey man,
you know me. Bauer Bomb Weekly.
We were talking about Jack Bauer last time, and I just
and I'm the one who has no interest in that show whatsoever.
Yeah,
that sounds like a deodorant. Bauer Bomb.
Let's get into some wrestling news and let's do Power Bomb Weekly. So, I got a new job. I haven't been able to watch as much wrestling as I would have liked, so I'm way behind. But I do have some stuff for you. I was doing some research. Like, wait, I did watch some of this. So last week, I talked about Ric Flair having his last match, and I showed you some images, and you guys laughed, and it was funny. Yep. And I have a news story for you right here that involves Ric Flair, and it states that Ric Flair is already considering wrestling more matches.
Oh, God.
Because that's what he did last time. Last time he was just like, that's it. I'm retiring. I'm going to have my last match at WrestleMania against Shawn Michaels. We're going to have this beautiful moment. And then a few months later, he was signed on by TNA, and he had a wrestling match with Hulk Hogan in I think Puerto Rico, which is ironic because Ric Flair was in an angle involved in Puerto Rico very recently. So I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the podcast, but myself, I'm somewhat sort of in a weird way affiliated with a wrestling federation in Puerto Rico called the World Wrestling Council. Mm-hmm. Just recently, Andrade El Idolo, the son-in-law of Ric Flair, who was his tag team partner at Ric Flair's last match, was going up against Carlito. You guys remember Carlito in World Wrestling Council. And an angle happened where Carlito's father, wrestling legend Carlos Colon, got into a thing with Ric Flair. And these two guys have gone back and forth, and they've had wars back in like the 80s and stuff. So I'm just going to zoom on Ric Flair's oldness. And Ric Flair and Carlos Colon, they start like duking it out. I was like, oh man, there might be a feud here. Ric Flair might get to fight the old guy like he always wanted in the form of Carlos Colon. So we'll see if that happens. But let's move on to another story real quick. I want to talk about the Hung Bucks. That's right, you heard me correctly. I said the Hung Bucks. Okay. Now, the Hung
Big
Bucks.
Big Dick Energy. All right.
Exactly. That's why they're called that. So this is the Hung Bucks. The Young Bucks on the left and right, Matt and Nick Jackson, teamed up with Hangman Adam Page.
Oh.
They call him the Hangman because rumor has he has a giant penis. And therefore, they are called the Hung Bucks.
Nice.
This is over in AEW, obviously. What's it called? They all used to be part of a faction called the Bullet Club, and they were the elite within the Bullet Club, and they were the Hung Bucks within the elite within the Bullet Club, and they all split up. just recently the Young Bucks were getting attacked by the Undisputed Elite, being Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fischer, not the chess player. And they were going in and they were attacking them. Adam Page comes out, is like, I'm gonna save you guys, and I'm gonna have these jeans with butterflies all over them. It was cool. So rumor has it, or not rumor has it, but speculation is that the Hung Bucks might be finally coming back together. Now, I talked about this on the podcast that they were alluding to this, but this could also always be a swerve where Kenny Omega comes back, takes the place of Hangman Adam Page, and then he reunites with the Bucks instead, and they all stay heel and they turn on Hangman once again. That could happen. But it's a little bit harder to predict AEW than it is to predict WWE.
And I'm guessing that's a good thing.
Yes. Or, Eslam, so I thought. Because it was hard to predict what was going on in WWE. Now, it is hard now that Triple H has taken over. So,
okay.
Triple H is killing it. All right, that's one thing I got to say. My God. So, right here, I have an image of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. These are two people that got released. Remember when I told you everybody who ever worked for Vince McMahon got released? Yeah. Triple H is bringing them all back, and we're happy about it. Everybody who didn't go to AEW, another promotion, or didn't, were willing to come back under the regime of Triple H, they're coming back now. So Karrion Kross, who was big in NXT, like he shot up to the top of NXT instantly. Then Triple H didn't have it anymore. Vince McMahon's like, I'm going to take him, I'm going to put him on Raw, and I'm going to make him look like a moron. And he did nothing, and then he fired him. So now, under the realm of Triple H, this man is already in a top feud with the world champion, Roman Reigns. Like, he's already at the top as soon as he comes back, where he deserves. This man can go. And Scarlett, she's a very good enhancement talent as well, where she like, Karrion Kross is kind of like a creepier type of character, and she just adds to it. And it's a whole presentation about their duos, whatever. There's Dexter Loomis, which is another character that was I can't since I missed a little bit of wrestling, I don't know if he either came back or he's rumored to come back. I think he came back. Dexter Loomis, his character is basically he's a serial killer. He took the name Dexter from Dexter and Loomis from Billy Loomis, the killer of the first Scream movie. Spoilers. Nice. It happened in like 1996. Or Dr. Loomis from the Halloween series. And he combined them, and he's like a weird serial killer character. So he was another person that got fired by Vince, who should be coming back or is back. I don't know. I have to tell you. And my last little bit I want to talk about here is still in the same vein of the story. One person's just that everyone's just like, listen, if Triple H is bringing everybody back that got fired that never should have gotten fired, is he going to bring back the one who never should have left WWE? Bray Wyatt. Now, Bray Wyatt here, this is in his Wyatt thing where he was trying to be like a Mr. Rogers creepy ass character. Mm-hmm. He's good. He has like a two-faced thing where he's this guy where he runs like a TV, like a kids TV show where he's like, hey kids, I'm going to teach you guys about dismemberment. Okay. And then he just starts like murdering people and stuff like that.
Looks like the guy from the Sandman.
Hey.
Okay. And then he has his alter ego, the Fiend, who I should have had an image of, but I'll pull that up while I'm talking. So the Fiend was like the top like character in all of WWE, and then Vince McMahon just didn't know how to use him, and it was horrible, and it was just depressing what Vince did with the Fiend. So hopefully if Bray can come back, because Bray can be successful anywhere he goes. Rumor has it that he was going to leave wrestling and start working in Hollywood because he's so goddamn talented. If he's willing to stay within wrestling and come back into WWE and work under Triple H, that's going to be incredible. So I'm just going to show you what the Fiend looks like when he's in his alter ego real quick. Okay. I just got Google opened up. So this is the Fiend. This is the same exact character, the same guy, just under different images. So that's his mask right here.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, it's
like a Slipknot person.
Yeah, he does. So yeah, so you got a couple different images of Bray with his alter ego.
Kind of has that one picture in the red right there has like the Joker vibes when he cut off his face.
And that was one of the inspirations for the thing.
Nice.
I could be incorrect, but the person who makes the mask, it might not be him, but I think it's Tom Savini, who's known for doing like the best like special effects in all of Hollywood.
Nice.
He's in a lot of Robert Rodriguez movies, and
cool.
Yeah. So the Fiend, he's just one of the best fucking characters WWE's ever created. So hopefully they get to bring him back. God, I'm just looking at the Fiend. I miss him so much. But yeah, that's all I got for wrestling news. We'll see if the Fiend does come back. Rumor has it that this episode of SmackDown, which should be airing tomorrow for us because it's Thursday right now. If you're not watching live, rumor has it Triple H is going to be bringing someone else back. Is it the Fiend? Is it one of the other millions of people Vince fired? I don't know, but can't wait to see.
Awesome. My goodness. All right.
These next couple weeks are gonna be like, who's coming back? Yeah.
Well, AEW's been doing that for like the past like couple months, so now it's seeing WWE do it is pretty cool. This is what we always wanted. We wanted the competition to bring out the best of these two companies, and with Triple H there, it looks like AEW finally has some competition. Also, last week I said I was going to talk about G1 Climax. Obviously, I didn't because I haven't gotten a chance to watch a goddamn second of it.
Yeah.
But they're still out there. They're still Climax, and I guarantee it. I will do my best to get it for you next week. Well, I will try, but we'll see.
It's like some tantra. I'm ready to climax super hard next week.
Yeah.
Honestly, the tournament might have ended. That's how behind I am on my wrestling. I have no idea.
Damn. All right. Looking forward to the G1 Climax. Hopefully we get some next week. We haven't climaxed hard in 2 weeks, so we'll see what happens. Disco, you want to go next?
There we go. Look at that face.
So this week on current news, Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago's home was raided by FBI. They believe he has classified documents in that home, so they went in and they searched. Donald claims that they illegally broke into a safe, and I don't think they found anything. The heat's coming down on Donald. Maybe he's going to see a lot more of him. Maybe he'll be arrested. Maybe at least prosecuted for something.
So a little bit more background on that, and I get these news knowledge from Crystal and Sagar on YouTube. Fantastic news reporters, unbiased. So go check them out. Called Breaking Points. But they were saying that the president has the power to unclassify any document he pleases, right? So apparently before Trump left office, he unclassified a bunch of documents and then took those documents. And I think so he officially unclassified them, but the paperwork didn't go through fully with like the rest of like Congress or government. Like I don't know exactly how it works, but like it wasn't filed properly. So that's where this is coming from, where they saying he has classified documents that he took and stuff like that. So that's why they did the FBI raid. But like you said, they didn't really find anything. Not sure what's going to be happening next, but we'll see. Keep checking the news.
Yep. Next up, can you see that Domino's?
Yep.
Awesome. Domino's Pizza, the restaurant chain, has officially pulled out of Italy, and this just blows my mind how confident they were in their pizza that they thought they could go to Italy, the home of pizza, and wow them with our fake cheese and fake ingredients. This blows my mind. So they finally pulled out of Italy, and I honestly don't even know what they were thinking.
Well, they wouldn't have our cheese, right? Because so one thing I found that when you go to overseas and you go to these fast food places, their food is 100 times better than the fast food we get here, because they have to follow the regulations of the countries they are in, right? So we're in the United States, where they let a lot of preservatives and fillers and all this nonsense go into our food. A lot of these other countries have restrictions where you can't use that stuff. You can't use all the sugar, high fructose corn syrup. Like they have restrictions on that, which is why people are healthier in other countries. But the fact that Domino's, like you said, thought that they can compete in the Italian market, the home of pizza, the home of Italian food, is mind-boggling. Like who thought this was a good idea? Like they should have been fired.
Hey man, they thought they had it. That's confidence.
It is confidence, but
they were
swinging. That's pretty bad.
They're swinging for the fences on this one.
Yo, for real.
Oh man,
My goodness.
I just when I saw this, I just couldn't stop laughing. I was just like, they really have cojones, or at least taking the shot, but it was a terrible shot.
I should have said cojones in Italian.
That would be funny.
Oh man,
Do you know cojones in Italian?
None of us does.
Okay.
nope.
I'll look it up for you. I'll look up what are Italian balls.
How do you
But,
say balls in Italian?
Yeah, so Domino's, I don't, I really don't know what they were thinking, but that's my final story. I guess don't be bold.
Yeah, they were really bold. The Domino's people went out there and they really had the testicoli. Yes, I looked up testicles and that's what it's called. The
Testicoli.
Some big testicles over here.
God damn.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, I
That's-
can't wait till you guys watch The Godfather one day.
That's
Amazing.
hilarious.
Uh,
Oh boy.
What do you got for us? That's not.
Look at the testicolis on this guy.
All right. I got some more DC news for you guys. More news is coming out from Warner Brothers Discovery. More rumors. Things are being confirmed. Things are not being confirmed, and it's just things are all over the place right now. But I got to bring in some news because I need to keep track of this because I love DC and I want them to succeed. So. Thanks to IGN for providing some news. But
Oh yeah, that's right. All my news came from WrestleTalk.com. I completely forgot to say that.
yeah, IGN showed us that the rumor mill is happening, and then Supergirl, Black Superman project with the Creed actor, I forgot his name. Sorry,
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. And then the Green Lantern Space Cop project is currently in jeopardy at WBD. Their whole thing is they don't want to spend these giant budgets on things that are going straight to streaming, which is what the old regime did right before the merger happens. They just announced like 4 or 5 movies that were going straight to HBO Max, which is great for the consumer, but if they don't really monetize it correctly, then it's not good for the company, which is why they were in so much debt and why they were sold for like the second time, right? Because Warner Brothers got sold to AT&T, and then they got sold again now to Discovery. So, not good. Very, very bad management. Another set of rumors, again, thanks to IGN, Blue Beetle movie and multiple James Gunn projects reportedly moving forward at WB, which would include a season 2 of The Peacemaker. So
Makes sense.
makes sense. Peacemaker did have ties to the DCEU. Blue Beetle, we don't know what type of ties he had, but one of the reasons I think Supergirl is most likely going to get canceled and why Batgirl is getting canceled because they had the Flash movie restart. In my speculation, they were having the Flash movie, which was going off the Flashpoint paradox comic book storyline. Flashpoint, yeah, the animated movie is called Flashpoint Paradox. Was resetting the whole universe, and then they were replacing like Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck with Batgirl and Supergirl, right? And then using diverse actresses and just actors in general, because of all the shit they got with Ray Fisher. So let's hope these projects are going to, because I literally from day to day, like once you get reports that are like, oh, these projects are getting canceled, and then like the next day they're like, oh, these projects are going forward and they're getting greenlit. So the Batman 2 hasn't the Batman sequel, which is something we talked about before, has not been officially greenlit by Warner Brothers yet. It is still in development. Reeves is still working on it, but it hasn't gotten the green light to start like either pre-production or whatever at all yet from Warner Brothers, probably because of the merger. So hopefully we get some great news about that soon, and we get to see an official confirmation that we will be getting a sequel to the Batman. So
I have a question, Aslam.
what's
Do
up?
we know if the Batman was a financial success?
It was very close to $1 billion worldwide. I think
Okay,
it was in like the 800-900 million range, which was
because it seems like that's what they're going with. It's like we just want to make money. So it's like
um
I figure, you know,
well, it's not they don't want to just make money, like they want to create successful projects that will
make
create
money.
money, right?
Yeah,
Where the other regime was like they were just throwing money at projects that
hoping for the best. Yeah,
were not good. They were not well thought out. They were not. So like they're trying to do the strategy of like, yes, we'll invest the money, but it has to be in something that is good and it's going to be successful. Which the Batman was successful, and I hope they invest in it again for the sequel. Thanks to comicbook.com, uh, Black Adam reportedly added new post-credit scenes with the DC Universe tie. So Black Adam, I guess, wasn't officially tied to the DC Universe. Now they're putting a picture of Henry Cavill Superman up right now because The Rock has mentioned multiple times that he would like his Black Adam to fight Superman. Um, and Superman has made cameos in like movies like Shazam. I think he might be making another cameo in The Fury of the Gods or Black Adam towards the end, but they never showed Henry Cavill's face because Henry Cavill has not been confirmed to come back yet. And I heard a report, well, not heard, but I saw that a report said that he doesn't really want to come back. I don't blame him. I'm sad that he doesn't want to if the report is true. But the other regime really fucked up, and he's just like, I'm doing other projects right now, right? He has the Witcher project. I think he's in talks. He's been in talks with Marvel for different characters like Captain Britain or like Hercules, or now another rumors saying Reed Richards. So who knows? But I hope he does come back. He was a phenomenal Superman for us, for our generation, at least in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. Rumors are coming out every day. Idris Elba recently, again, news by IGN. Idris Elba recently was saying that he's working on something big for DC. Now, is he going to be reprising his role as, I honestly forgot, what was it? What was his character name in
oh
the?
fucking no.
I don't remember.
Deadshot.
No,
No, he wasn't Deadshot.
that
That
was
was Will
the
Smith.
yeah.
I'll look it
Fuck,
up if you want
whatever.
to keep talking.
I forgot. He didn't say anything specific, but again, he was like, I want my character to go up against Superman. It's like everybody's coming for Superman's neck, and Superman isn't even
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Yeah, so he's like saying, I want Bloodsport to fight, Superman, and like Superman hasn't even been like locked down yet by any way, shape, or form. So who knows what's happening there. But the sad news is that Ezra Miller has been officially charged with felony burglary. Now, the story behind this is kind of weird. Um, like he apparently took alcohol from someone's home while they weren't there, and now they're pressing charges. It's not like he broke in. I don't know like exactly the story, but I feel like a lot of these things are like overinflated. But again, I do not know. This is what I've read online. Everything is like there's mixed reports happening all over the place. Unfortunately, nobody does like proper investigative reporting anymore. They kind of just push out these rumors as facts for
Mhm.
people. So who knows?
I did see somewhere on Twitter that there was like this thing where it was DC was looking to see what like how to treat the Ezra Miller situation. Like, one, are they going to? Oh,
That's
there you
right.
go. You got it. You tell me. You
I
tell me. You
got
can
you.
say it better than I will.
So DC, Warner Brothers Discovery is reportedly considering three options for Ezra Miller's The Flash, including the most drastic option, which is the final option that they kind of don't want to do, which is scrap the entire project. But the first option would see the actor try and secure some counseling and do some small press for The Flash before it opens in theaters. Again, this is thanks to comicbook.com. The second option um, would see Ezra Miller play no part in the film's promotion, and the role gets recast after the release. For the third option, like I said before, they would just scrap or shelve the Flash like they did with Batgirl.
Mhm.
Again, that would suck, but I mean, he hasn't been making it easy for them, right? All this bad press is not good for the company.
I feel like
He
Ezra
can't.
Miller's going out there. It's like every day you hear something different about what they're doing out there, and
Yeah,
they're just, I don't know,
He
just going
can't.
crazy. Like they were going crazy all over like Hawaii,
yeah,
and it's like you never know what they're gonna do next. It's I don't know.
It's like they can't stay out of the news
yeah,
Yeah,
for anything, and it's crazy because you would figure a person like that has, on top of the world. He's like almost one of the faces of DC with this Flash character. And now he's it just they just keep getting caught up in like this ridiculous like stories.
yeah.
So, I mean, when you get to this certain level of fame, sometimes people just go after you. Sometimes it goes to your head, and you start doing crazy things. And who knows what it is? He could be battling demons. We don't know. If he is, hopefully he gets the help he requires. If it's the people around him, hopefully someone comes to his aid and moves these bad people away and
Yeah.
surrounds him with healthy people so that he can become healthy. Sorry, so that they can become healthy. I apologize if
It's
I.
an honest mistake. We've all said it. I think.
Yeah, sorry if I
At the end of the day, hopefully they get their
mispronoun.
shit together. Yeah.
Yeah. So because I did enjoy him as the Flash, seeing him in the role as in the Snyder cut was really awesome. That end scene where he put back time was phenomenal. So hopefully they get better. Hopefully the Flash gets released. Hopefully we get here some new good news about DC. But Warner Brothers again reportedly wants to keep Leslie Grace as Batgirl in a future film. If that happens, we'll see how they bring her in. But like I said, all this news is reports. It's all speculative, so we don't know what's going on. What we do know is that Batgirl got canceled. Supergirl might be next. Other projects that are super expensive that if they're not gonna be extremely profitable, they most likely will get canceled. It
Mhm.
seems that's what they're going for. Um, Warner Brothers Discovery has a lot of debt on their hands because of the company, because Warner Brothers got run to the ground by the old management. I think they has something like $50 billion in debt, which is a ridiculous amount. So the new chief is trying to cut $3 billion out of it. So that's why they released, I think, 70% of the writing staff, and they're doing a lot of cuts and like
Yeah,
doing
sound like
things.
JDB over there.
Yeah, exactly. I know he's pulling a Vince McMahon. But what we need right now is a Triple
Is a
H
Triple H.
for DC right now, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get a Triple H for
Yeah.
these new DC studios that they're creating with a team to create the next 10 years. Hopefully they do not use the Marvel formula because honestly, it's not working for Marvel. So,
They're just gonna bump up Greg Capullo. Like, I got this, guys.
oh my God, please put Greg Capullo and Scott
Scott Snyder.
Snyder,
Yep.
and let's see what they do. I mean, Jeff Johns didn't do a great job when he was put in that
Exactly.
position, but
Exactly.
who knows?
Yeah.
So
Throw in Jim Lee. We'll see what happens.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, let's get people who know the business and can do it correctly, and then
Absolutely.
leave these people in the creative role where they can create and let them create properly. And
Exactly.
don't hinder their creation or their creativity, but nurture it and nurture it in a way that you as an executive can by supporting them in the role that you know how to do, right? Don't go in there and be like, I don't like this, I don't like change this, change that. People don't like, you don't know what people like, right? You don't know what comic book people like. All you see is numbers. That's not how things get done. But we've said this many times on the podcast, so it is what it is. But yeah, man, that is all my news. It has been a turbulent time out here for DC first with the old management, now with this merger and the new management trying to make changes for the better. Hopefully, that's what they're doing, and I wish them the best. So
And the scandals.
yeah, yep, the
Absolutely.
scandals. But yeah, man, that's it for my news. You guys want? Let's jump into some final thoughts.
Let's do it. I can go first if you want. I'm gonna brag about myself. Just recently, I got my 27th total platinum trophy over
Nice.
on the PlayStation Network, and my seventh platinum for 2022.
Damn.
I'm
Damn.
feeling it. I'm
Yeah,
feeling it
good
this year.
shit. Yeah.
Which is funny because you look at every time I bring up platinum, I'm gonna bring up Rudy.
Yep.
You look at Rudy. I think he's got like probably a couple hundred, if that, for this year. Of course, he's playing games like My Name Is Mayo,
Yep.
and then he's double dipping on them on top of that. So
Mhm.
in reality, the man I think might have gotten like one or two legit platinums this year. But with that being said,
Nice.
very happy. I did platinum the South Park Stick of Truth,
Mhm.
and I'm going to be moving on when I get a chance to the South Park Fractured Butthole.
Okay.
And hopefully I get that. That's supposed to be the easier of the two platinums. Speaking of which, I even texted Rudy. I was like, dude, Stick of Truth, easy platinum, and a good game for a change. Why don't you platinum this one? The man said, no, that's too much work. And I was
Damn.
like, wow, this man doesn't even enjoy games no more. He
Yeah.
literally goes out there and buys the shittiest games
Just so you
just
could
so
get
he
the
could get
platinums.
I
Wow.
was like, this man, like, he has no fun playing games. I have to imagine.
That's wild.
Damn.
So it's like I'm having fun getting my platinums over here. But yeah. Oh, and if you want to check out my platinum thing, I'm going to keep saying, I'm going to keep promoting it like if I own the damn thing. Check out gg.io. I have an account there. You can follow anybody who puts a list of like whatever kind of what things they want. They can make their own game reviews.
Mhm.
If you guys even want, I could make an LWG account where we could keep track of all the games we play, which is just going to be a double of my account and whatever Danny's playing on Switch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing God of War now, and I did play a little bit of Stray. So
Okay.
when I get the time,
That's what I was. Hey, just say the word. I will make an LWG account.
let's make an LWG account and add it to
Let's
the
do it.
Los Wise Guys
Let's do
website,
it.
right?
Check out our gg.io coming soon.
Yep. Like we said, we're always trying to make new content. Go check out the Los Wise Guys website, loswiseguys.com. We have the LWG FVGL stuff up there. We're going to have this new one. Maybe we can do our own game reviews. Why the fuck not?
We could do it on
Yeah. So, hey.
With that being said, I'm gonna need your guys like actual info. Like when you beat a game or play a game, I have to know.
Okay. Yeah. We'll keep you updated. We'll see how we'll do some background discussions of how we're going to run that.
Absolutely, we will.
Disco, final thoughts.
My birthday is at the end of the month.
Nice. The
Cash
29th, right?
Cash at me, Venmo me, hit me up. Yeah, it's the 29th. I'm gonna be in
Nice.
Jersey too, actually. So maybe
Whoop,
maybe
whoop.
I'll see you.
Yeah, man. I think let me see. Yeah, it's gonna be a Monday. Okay. That's cool. Maybe on the weekend before that we can meet up.
Yeah, maybe on that Sunday or some shit. I don't even remember. I think I get there Saturday. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Two thirds of the LWG OG in the same state. Let's go.
I know, right? That's wild. And then hopefully the three of us will be in another country. We're gonna take over and maybe do an episode from there. Hopefully, we'll see.
That'd be pretty cool.
Is that all for your final thoughts?
Yep, I'm getting old.
Yep. Aren't we all? All right. So for my final thoughts, like I mentioned before, I've been playing God of War. I've been playing Stray, which are both very interesting, very different games.
Very different games.
But also, I brought up the LWG FVGL, and one of my games recently released and is doing very well, Cult of the Lamb.
I'm hearing Game of the Year contender.
Yeah, man. So I was just on Twitch the other, like, I think yesterday. I went on to just look at our stuff, and I saw someone playing it live. So I just tapped in, watched it, and it's very fucking cool. So it's like two different types of games. There's like what is that type of sim called?
And it's a fucked up Animal Crossing mixed with a weird like procedurally generated dungeon crawler.
Yeah, there's like the concept of game is you become a cult leader and you're trying to free the deity that brought you back to life. and so you're gathering these followers. Also, you have a power where you could read their mind, which I thought was very fucking cool. You make these followers work for you, like by chopping down trees and like you're building your whole camp and stuff like that. They shoveling poop. You can sacrifice these followers for different types of things. There's a lot of fucking cool things in this game, and it looks really awesome. I also got a decent amount of points for it, so I'm super happy about that.
Damn,
Um,
I hope so, because I just looked at your thing. You got -9 because of Digimon Survive.
yeah, that goes up and down a point for like the past like 2 weeks. I'm like looking at it all the time, but
Okay.
yeah, man. Shout out to Cult of the Lamb. You guys created a really cool game. I don't know who created it, but you know, shout out to the developers. And my last shout out is to Ichiro Oda Sensei, one of the greatest writers of our generation, the writer, creator, and artist of One Piece. I want to congratulate you, sir, for hitting a Guinness World Book of Records for 500 million copies published and sold for a manga. Never happened before. An amazing accomplishment. One Piece is one of the greatest and longest running manga and show ever, 25 years now. And we're just starting the final saga. So that could be a couple of arcs, that could be another 10 years. Here's hoping. Um, but one of my favorite animes of all time and manga. Super awesome story. Again, congratulations, Ichiro Oda. Super
Congrats
happy
to
about that.
Oda-san.
He
Absolutely.
deserves that.
Yeah,
He's
man.
had everyone just ranting and raving for 20 plus years, like just about.
First of all, to keep a story consistently amazing at a high level like this story, is extremely hard for any type of medium, right? Like who has written a series of books or that's putting out new content like chapters weekly or bi-weekly or whatever that's been around for 25 years.
The only thing I could think of
Mhm.
and doesn't do it well was Vince McMahon and WWE.
Yeah,
Who's been doing it longer than that,
yeah.
but it's not consistent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can argue certain arcs in One Piece were lower grade than others,
Yeah.
but like it's been consistently amazing for such a long time. So, shout out to Oda Sensei. Congratulations again. And that is my final thought.
I just want to put out. It's made by Monster Mass. I just fucking had it and I lost it. Massive Monster Games.
Monster
yes.
Mash.
Shout
Shout
out to
Massive Monster Games.
Shout out to Massive Monster Games for Cult of the Lamb. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Los Wise Guys podcast. I am one of your hosts, Eslam, accompanied by Dan and Emperor Disco. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow us on social media. The link right here on your screen. Please go to our YouTube page and like, subscribe, share, rate, review. Tell us what you think of all the news that we talked about today. Tell us what you think about the Sandman. We love hearing you in the comments. We answer back as much as we can. We've had a couple conversations with people we talked to about Lord of the Rings and stuff like that on our Reacts video. It was really fun, nice conversations. And go check out the Los Wise Guys website. Like we said, new content coming all the time. We put up the YouTube episode and our audio episode up there. So always a pleasure. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.